back to the show. Well, I feel like I should have a drink. Well, I always feel like I should have a drink in my hand, but especially right now, I feel like
you be Bing Crosby, I'll be David Bowie, because it's only Christmas when Bramwell Tovey comes in and starts playing the beautiful Fazioli at us, of course, from the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. Maestro, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
How does this play into your everyday life? Are you on a piano almost every day?
Oh yeah, I have a piano in my music room. I don't have a Fazioli, I have a Steinway, but it's an incredible. I know one's not supposed to talk about things like Shaw and Tellus and all that sort of thing, but nevertheless, there we are. I have a big music room in the basement, and I spend all day in there. So
is this the main instrument that you compose on? I mean,
yeah, this is my instrument now. I used to play other instruments, but they require too much maintenance.
Right.
And the piano I play every day for several hours.
And you're writing an opera right now.
I am, yes. I've nearly finished.
And how's that going?
It's a nightmare because it's an enormous amount of...
Don't hold back, Bramwell.
It's taken... is this therapy or is this TV? It's taken me 3 years to get to this point, and I will finish orchestrating in about 4 or 5 days entirely. And it's very exciting. It's being premiered in Calgary on January the 29th.
Amazing.
So
and tell us a little bit about the plot, because I was reading about the plot, and it's just, it's very operatic. I mean,
it's very operatic. It's about Alexander Keith, but not the brewer, the nephew of the brewer. And he was a reprobate. He was a Confederate spy during the American Civil War. And he decided that he was not going to join the family brewing business, which was very respectable and teetotal. He literally became a rake. And he swindled a lot of people out of money. After the American Civil War was over, he tried to escape, but his creditors hounded him, and eventually he was trying to think of a way to earn more money, and he came up with a crackpot idea to explode a bomb on an ocean-going liner. And as it was being loaded onto it's a true story, unfortunately and tragically, he killed dozens and dozens of people, maimed many, many more, went into his cabin on the boat and shot himself because he hadn't realized about the scale.
So you find this story, and how does one tackle translating this into opera?
Well, that's the difficult
3 years later.
3 years later, and a lifetime before that, trying to work it all out. But actually, it's been a fantastic project for me, because I've always wanted to write an opera, and especially a dramatic, dark story like this. And the various characters. He was a wonderful father and a very popular man. Wonderful father to his second family. To his first family, he was dreadful. He just left them out in the cold. But nonetheless, his operatic characters give you highs and lows, and like Shakespeare, you need highs and lows to really present a story on stage.
Well, and I think one of the many, many things to admire about you is you never really rest creatively, I guess is maybe a way to put it. I mean, you're sort of always pushing what you're trying to do, and
well, you do your best to, but you know, if you don't do that, you have to stop to apologize, and so I find it better to keep moving.
Yeah, but I don't know that a lot of people do. You know, I mean, you're given that opportunity to try something, and you know, I think it's an interesting moment for people whether they say yes or no.
Well, you know, I didn't have to think about it very long when I was approached by Calgary Opera. They rang up out of the blue and said, we'd like to talk with you about this in some detail. And I thought, wow, could I have the time to do this? Because the VSO takes an enormous amount of time, and guest conducting and so on and so forth. But actually, you know, there's when you're a musician, you have very many different facets of your playing. Like when people see the VSO musicians sitting on stage, that's only a part of what they do as musicians. They teach, they play chamber music, they play solo music, they do all kinds of activities, film scores, all kinds of things.
Where does ABBA come into it?
Oh, right, ABBA's...
Well, ABBA, we were saying before we went on air that actually in 30 years' time we'll be doing Justin Bieber concerts. ABBA was a big hit, as we all know, and the orchestra has the opportunity to do this ABBA program, and we thought we'd give it a try.
How fun.
It's going to be tremendous fun.
That's amazing, because people really know every ABBA song back to front, whether they know it or not.
Yes, and the actions and everything. So people can feel free to wear those clothes, those people who are no longer wearing them, because you do still see people.
Pants,
you still see people.
But this is a great thing. I mean, when you look at your program going forward this year, and you know, classics obviously coming through, and then, but you guys always mix it up somehow and really challenge yourselves and have some fun with it as well.
Well, the symphony is here for everyone, and the kind of music that the orchestra musicians play is everything from ABBA to the latest jazz to Vivaldi to Beethoven. Our concertmaster Dale Waltrop next week, at the end of this week actually, is going to play Vivaldi's Four Seasons.
Fantastic.
And,
a favorite
really
at this time of year too.
A huge favorite. It's very popular. it.
Well,
Can
we're
we
going to let
input-
you play.
There's a little piano here. I don't know if you've noticed.
This is spontaneous. By the way, Bramwell.
This is gorgeous. The Fazioli piano that you see in front of us, I think it's about $120,000 for this particular model. Gold plated, so nothing corrodes over time. The wood is all
Is this a
finished.
nice one to play?
It's a beautiful piano. Beautiful.
I won't touch it. I won't dare to touch it.
So if
but
you want
thanks
one,
to the folks
order
at Fazioli. And if you want to know more about the Vancouver Symphony, of course, just go to the website. You can find out about all the
Great program
programs,
this year.
including Vivaldi's Four Seasons and ABBA Live with the VSO as well. That one's happening January 5th at the Orpheum Theatre if you want to check it out.
And the classic, of course, probably one of the greatest pieces of music ever to come out of humanity, Beethoven's Ninth, is happening January 8th and 9th at the Orpheum Theatre.
Bramwell, Maestro, take it away.